It's funny that you sent that message.
This meeting is being recorded.
I didn't get a chance to respond to it, but I just listened to Angie's Facebook, that interview that she did with a girl. I think her name was Kate. Yeah, and how she had done keto for so long, and her, like, it really worked for me. You know, I wasn't hungry, all the stuff, but she went to her doctor and had her blood work done, and her cholesterol was like through the roof. So it made me think of that, because I was like, oh, I know keto worked for me too, but I remember, like, my doctor put me at, but she didn't put me on cholesterol pills, but she told me go to Walgreens and buy the cholesterol because your cholesterol is high. I was like, wonder why it's high. And then I heard that video and I was like, well, that would be why, because I always did such a high carb or low carb, high fat protein diet.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. Mine went up. Now my good cholesterol went up really high too. My bad cholesterol both of them went up together. My doctor was like, it's fine, just keep doing what you're doing. And I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I don't know. I guess
Hillary, did you happen to watch Kate Law is her name?
I watched I watched part of it, not all of it. But yeah, I need to finish that one because it probably has the answer to my question in it. Right?
Well, and I can answer bits and pieces just because I tried keto. It's just like in my head mentally, and that was where the space I was in was like, this isn't healthy. Like, this is way too much fat. This is way too much, like, so, and that was before this program. Like, that was just my mentality, because I was always the paleo, and the food has to be clean, and it had to be this, and it had to be that. So that was my, like, and I, watching the challenge this week, it's funny, like, I think the first day she speaks on, like, how we have characterized food, with whatever diet we were on, or, like, how we were influenced growing up. So it is funny because I have a ton of friends who do keto and still do keto, and we'll go to a party and they're like, I can't have sugar, as they're like drinking their wine, and I'm like, oh.
So right. It's totally contradictory.
Yeah, and they all like love it. One of the girls actually did the program, and I think she's finishing up her last few weeks. So I wonder if I should reach, whatever. Side note, I should reach out to her because I want to see how that went. All right, let's start with wins. Michelle, since you're right under me, you go first.
Well, I think I told you last week about my little guy that smacked me in the butt and told me my butt felt smaller. So I hadn't seen my boyfriend in a couple weeks since we went on our trip, and he did the same thing. And he goes, oh, it's smaller. Yeah. And I was like, I'm like, yeah, not really. I've only lost like 5 pounds. I kind of, like, at the beginning, I can share my numbers here, right? Like, I was like 168, 167, and then I went up to 171, and now I'm back down to, I'm like at 165. So that's the lowest I've been. I'm like, it's really only been like wavering these 5 pounds. He goes, you honestly look like you've lost like 15 pounds. I was like,
well, okay. And I think it can attest to your measurements. And I like, is it okay that I speak on kind of what we side spoke? Okay. So I thought about that a lot as we got off the phone, and we talked a little bit about disordered eating, and just like where she would eat and then maybe go a day without eating, or very, very, very low calories, and then go a day eat. Like, that was her pattern. And I talked to Paul about it because I was like, I'm not sure like what the best approach here, because I don't want to reverse her, because obviously like reversing and like starting with like a lot of calories will scare the crap out of her, right? Because like you go like that. I think what's most important right now is, obviously, yes, you want to see some movement, but I think the most important thing is actually getting your body consistent calories and like feeding it, whatever that looks like. And we can tweak your numbers. I don't want to go crazy low. And again, I'll look at your sheet when I'm done here. I'm on the call, baby. 1 second. You can. She's got like. You probably pulled out fall. So I think what's most important is getting consistent calories for you. And while you'll probably see little movement, I think that's not the biggest goal here. And I know that's the biggest goal for you coming in here. But I think for me, the biggest goal is let's get those calories consistent and get your body built to a place where it accepts that. And like, maybe, I don't know if there's resistance or whatever that looks like. And then we can focus on cutting calories. And again, we can cut you a little bit, but I just want to see consistency and like not a 900 calorie day or 800 calorie day, because I think that triggers your body into like fight or flight mode, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do think once you get into the habit of being consistent there, you will see movement, and then again you can kind of do a more aggressive cut. I just don't want to do anything that's extremely unstable. Does that make sense?
Yes, totally.
And I think it's cool because you said your measurements were like down, right?
Yes, I feel it. Like I put on a pair of pants, wore them to work today that I haven't worn in over a year. So I'm like, my body has to be changing. Like it feels different. It looks different. I think.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's women that come off of like any kind of like, let's call all of it disordered eating, because I'm sorry, I feel like all of us, myself included, I went through a phase in my 20s or early 20s, it was diet pills. It was anything I could get my hands on that curbed my appetite, so I didn't want to eat food because I love food. It's not, I think we all have that mentality, and I just lost my dating train of thought, you guys. I was at a point there. What did you say before that? Your measurement? Oh, I think as women, we are looking for that quick fix, and we think, because we're used to in the past starting something and seeing, I used to be able to skip 2 meals and lose 5 pounds in a couple of days. That's not healthy. Right. I'm not condoning, but that's like where my mind was always at when it came to weight loss. So I have had to like embrace knowing that it's a slow process, but that slow process is what's sustainable. Like right. I could say I'm 100% comfortable right now that I actually eat food. I like, and I am that person that I like to eat it like within 10 calories. I usually have like 5 calories left in my day, sometimes negative. What then? Go poop then. My husband's not home tonight, so it's just me and the kiddos. And again, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Sorry, guys. What was I saying?
You were talking about, don't forget to wipe her, because she said she got to wipe her when she's
That's what's going to happen, is she's going to have like skid marks everywhere, which is, this is life for us right now. So, no, I'm sorry, I'm lost my train of thought. I just feel like we expect things to happen so quickly, and I'm confident knowing now with the food I'm eating, and even going into a reverse, into maintenance and sitting in maintenance, I know I could be in a happy, healthy space with my food. And for me, that is like everything, like completely everything. So, okay, come around here then. Sorry, she has her bathing suit on. That's why she's telling me this. Can you say hi real quick to the ladies?
Hi. Hi. Hi.
I'm a lady too, most of the time. What? Okay, there you go. Now have your sister wipe you. She'll love that. But anyway, hi Larry, let's go for your win. We can circle back on that. Sorry, I got sidetracked.
No, that's perfect. Sorry, and I cut out for a little while there, so I missed something. I don't know, my internet. So anyway, my wins. I'm eating carbs, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm not freaking out. This is the most carbs I've eaten in years. It feels like, between paleo and keto, and like when you talk about what did you just say? Food,
disordered eating, yeah.
Disordered eating, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been intermittent fasting forever. I've been doing 24-hour fasts.
Yeah.
Once a month. I was like, I just won't eat all day. And so this has been really fun. This is like the best way to lose weight ever. It's just fun.
I'm telling you, and so we were at a party on Saturday, and me and like 6 of my girlfriends, we went on a girls trip. My high school girlfriend group, a lot of them joined the program after I joined, and it is really fun and really cool, like just to get us all together, and like either people are not going to want to be around us because we're like super geeked up about food and like finally being happy. And we're not like at a party and like one of us isn't like, oh, I can't have that because, I'm on this diet for like 6 months, or I'm doing Weight Watchers, or I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, I mean, yeah, we're all a little annoying because we like talk about weighing our food and like the things we actually get to enjoy. Like, I had a plate with some cookies, and I was like, I already worked this in, like it's great. And it is really exciting once you get to that point, and having your check-in this week and then your other message you sent me brings me so much joy, because that is what this is about, is just being able to have zero deprivation. And I actually feel for people when I was walking out of we went to lunch with my mom and my daughter today, and I overheard somebody like listing all like, it has this much saturated fat and this and this and this, and I was like, oh. I just wanted to like go. I wanted to be like, there is a better way, you know. So I like where you're at, Hillary. It makes me happy, and I'm excited for you, because I know it's really difficult. Like I was in the same. I remember asking my coach when I joined, like a couple weeks in, I was like, maybe it's my carbs. Like maybe we should lower my carbs, because I literally I never measured, but I mean, unless it was a vegetable, I didn't eat it if it was a carb. Unless there was a night I binged and I was like, let me just eat all the pizza, and then I felt like crap and guilty and mad at myself and all those things, you know. So I actually thoroughly enjoy now being, you know, into this for a long time. Like I got pretzels the other day. I couldn't tell you last time I bought pretzels, and like ate them without feeling bad. Like, so it, you know, it's fun. It gets fun. And then tweaking your numbers is fun. And then once you lose, and I can tell you, and you're able to go into reverse, and you're like happy where you're at, and you're like, wow, I get to eat more calories. Like, I'm like, let's do it. Let's see how high my calories can go. I think I almost got up to like 2,000 calories, and my weight was like this.
Wow.
The whole reverse. It's super cool. It's super cool what your body does. And then you're supposed to be able to hang out in maintenance. You know, I think most people hang out in maintenance for most of their time, and then, you know, summer comes, they want to do a cut, vacation, whatever that looks like. You do these little mini cuts after your first big cut. So it's cool and exciting.
Yeah, it is really cool. I mean, I totally get it. I mean, like I had chicken nuggets. I had chicken nuggets on a wrap today with my kids. You know, they had chicken nuggets, and I stuck them on a wrap, and with a bunch of vegetables, and I had peanut butter filled pretzels. You know, to go inside, not a ton. But oh my gosh, so good. When you said pretzels, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, we bought like a big canister of pretzels. Yeah. It's amazing.
I had those a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I haven't had anything for them. Like, they were divine. So can I ask you a question? How has your weight been? Like, I know you said you were like kind of stagnant. How has it been since we dropped you this week?
So I haven't seen, I've been stable. I haven't seen any, I'm looking at my sheet right now, because of course I forget. So I stayed exactly stable the 2 days now, but I didn't sleep. I slept like 4 hours last night.
And you are correct, and you will carry a bit of water weight while bumping up those carbs, but you should get a little whoosh once your body kind of gets used to it. And yeah, like I feel like there's other variables. Sleep will also play into it. But I think once you're in this, like, you know, a solid week and a half of the lower calories, you will see some movement for sure.
Cool. I'm super excited. I'm almost down to my wedding weight, so I'm like, this is great.
I know, that's my win for the week. And not to speak on numbers, but like when I started, I had a certain goal in mind. I hit that, and my coach and I didn't really talk about it, so she started reversing me, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then halfway into that reverse, I was like, you know what? I really want to see what my body can do since we're here, since I have you. And so I went back into a cut, and I will be honest, the second time around, it's a little bit more difficult. I only really wanted to like shift 5 more pounds, and it's taken, I mean, I'm probably like 7 weeks into my second cut, and I started my cut at 130, and yesterday for the first time I hit 125, and I have not seen that number in a healthy way ever. But I probably haven't seen 125 since my early 20s. And again, I was probably taking diet pills at that point, or doing something crazy, you know, to keep and maintain that. And it's really, really cool to see that and get there. And that's kind of the goal for me. That number for me is to be in and around there. And then I think I'll start reversing in October, so I can be reversing for Thanksgiving and Christmas and be able to eat all the good stuff. So, but it's just real cool to see what your body can do, and like set goals and hit them. And just know, like I said, what's crazy is it takes time, because I can see now that my body will, I cut my calories, it takes about 2 weeks for me now to get any movement, which is fine. Like I know it's a slow process and it's just like keeping at it. And I'll get the, 126.7, 126.8, 129, 127. Like, I just like, just the same. It's, and then I'll get the 125 and it probably will go up for a couple of days and then it'll go lower. It's just really cool to watch and see what the patterns that your body does. But, knowing again that it's going down and it's going down in a way that like I can, I am confident that I can keep and maintain and sustain that without a lot of effort, if that makes sense. Like, I hate to like say that it gets easy because I don't ever want to take away from people's struggles, of losing weight and that it might not be easy for certain people. But I think with this, once you get it into the macros and get into the groove of things, it really is just about daily, like if you're hitting your goals by like 80, 90%, it's going to happen. It's just dependent on the time frame. And once you like take away timeline expectations, it relieves like a lot of stress and like angst on like hitting your goal. Does that make sense?
It does very much.
Totally.
So it's really cool.
Like, I guess I get to the end of the day and it's like, you know what? You did your numbers today. I got all my protein in. I stayed within my calorie range. I got all my stuff in. I did my workout today. I did what I needed to do. It's just my body that it's just gonna do it. It's gonna follow.
I think with you, your body will catch up. I think it's been, how many, like your whole adult life, like have you eaten inconsistent like that?
Since I was like 17 is when I started screwing around with all that stuff.
Yeah. And I think it's getting this right first in like being comfortable with eating calories on a daily basis. And again, when I was looking for your sheet. I'll find it when we get off here, and we can tweak your numbers for sure. I just want to make sure that if we set you, I can't remember where we're at. If we set you at 1,300 or 1,200, that we're like not doing days where there's 900, 800 calories. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm at 14. My number's at 14. I'll tell you right now. Yesterday I had, I think, 850 calories left in my thing. I didn't feel good. I was throwing up last night.
That is different. Yeah. There are days like I've had people like other women in the group that are like, we've had the flu, and I'm like, they're like, I'm trying to like, I'm like, do what you can to survive at this point. Like, eat your crackers, like,
I was like, oh my God, I cannot stomach yogurt today. It's just not happening.
Yeah. So there are days where you just have to like, and again, throughout this whole process, there are going to be days where you're like, you can make that choice to be like, screw it. Like, we're going over today because something's happening. I'm going to enjoy it. Or like life happens and we just, it's about, picking up our big girl panties and our little girl panties and, moving on. So, but I just, I want for the most part, minus sickness, for you to stay consistent, in hitting, at those numbers. And again, in my mind, what's super important is protein, hitting that protein number and like staying in and around those calories. The other numbers, while they're important, protein is really what we want to see. So, okay. I do want to talk about, your question today, and intermittent fasting, coming off of like ketosis and, being in a calorie deficit. I think, obviously, and my coach said it to me once, I'm like, I'm hungry. And she's like, I'm sorry, you're in a calorie deficit. Like, there are days you're going to be hungry. And I was like, okay. So I don't know. Intermittent fasting has never worked for me, only because, and everybody's different. Like, I know my coach Kate is a huge fan of intermittent fasting. And she likes it because she feels like she can control her day a little bit more. I just often wake hungry, and I don't know if it's because you're getting into these fat burning modes where your metabolism is kicking in. I need to eat something, generally by 9 o'clock. Because when I tried to intermittent fast, and the minute I started eating at noon or whatever that looked like, I was like ravenous the rest of that time. So for me, I think a lot of it, and I want to go back, I was going to pull up your question, could be that it is because of the calorie deficit, and because we did just drop your calories. So that might have something to do with it. While I don't deny that the other stuff might have something to do with it also. I just don't know enough about keto to speak on coming out of, like, I don't know how long you've been out of ketosis since you started the program. Like, and, you know, I do think, you know, higher fat can be more satiating. So I do think that's a thing also. But like I told another client today, you know, being in a calorie deficit is what really, really matters. Obviously, we like to see protein, so we can tweak your carbs and your fats. If you find like throughout this next week, I would say give it a week and a half, and see if that hunger is still there. Because then we might be able to bump up your fats and lower your carbs a smidge to see if that helps to keep you more satiated. You know, does that make sense? But I think it might be that you're in a calorie deficit. And I would play around with intermittent fasting and see if it still works for you, or if you're in a space where you need to like start breaking that a little earlier or eating a little earlier. If you can trust that, like, I don't know. I know a lot of people intermittent fast where they do keto.
I lost you guys again.
Oh, you did? Can you hear me, Michelle?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think Hillary might be frozen. She'll come back. But I think a lot of that is probably her being in a calorie deficit and a fat loss phase. But that was a good question.
So is it weird? I don't know if I'm in like a fat burning like thing, but I noticed like right after my cycle, I just pee, which I know is part of like losing the water weight.
Yep.
But when I eat, like I get hot. And I don't know if it's like my body, like, God, what the hell is that?
I feel I have to write that down.
Literal fat burning off my body. I don't know.
Like hot after eating or hot while eating?
Like more like after I eat. Maybe I'm eating too much spicy food. I don't know what the hell.
Or like hormones? I don't know. Is that a thing?
I don't know. Honestly, I think there's some serious hormone things going on right now.
That's interesting. I've never heard that before.
40 next month, so that would explain a lot.
I don't know if that's all true. I went and got all that stuff checked before I started this, and because I was like, I'm hormonal. I'm perimenopausal, I think, and they're like, nope, everything looks great. I was like, okay. We lost you for a little bit.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah,
no, that's okay. Also, I don't know if you guys. So tomorrow morning's call is going to be at like 7 in the morning. It will be like the live Zoom if you guys want to like be on that. It's cool to be able to like ask questions live. Paul and Angie, Hillary, if you're able to, might be able to answer that a little. I did send it to them. They didn't get back to me yet on the question. What?
Where do you get on for those?
So in the Wednesday morning, there's like a little section on either the community page or the private page that is just this pink screen that says Wednesday. Here, I could probably show you guys as opposed to me telling you. Let me share my screen. Usually, if you go to the Facebook page, I'm not sure if it's the community or the Angie message one. So yeah, Wednesday coaching calls. Usually, he will post the link and then the Zoom call in here. Otherwise, I feel like they'll usually post it on the page, or he'll post it in here.
Okay.
Zoom link.
I think I saw it.
Yep. Zoom link and comments.
Yeah.
Do you want me to, I just will, since you guys are both here, I'll tag you guys. Why are you not showing up? So you guys at least are, if you're able to get on, great. I just think it's a cool new format that they're doing, and people are able to I think people are able to ask live questions, and it's taking power back when stress levels rise. That's going to be the topic, but usually they have open Q&A at the end if you want to, and if you can be on it live. I think it's pretty cool. Otherwise,
that says 10 a.m. Is that?
Oh, somebody. Okay, then that's correct. Somebody, my coach told me 7 a.m. this morning, so 10 a.m. I'm glad you read that, because I was thinking it'd be 7 a.m.
Either way, I'm at work, so I won't be there.
Okay. I'm like, I might, if I can remember to do that, I might jump on. Did anybody else have any other questions? Because I was really talking about the calorie deficit with Hillary and being in the fat loss mode. I would like to, again, give it a week and a half, and see if your body gets used to those calories. Because I do know when I drop, I think a little bit is mental for me, but I'm like, I'm hungry. And then once I get into it and get used to it, I'm just like, okay, we're good. So,
okay. So yeah, give it a week and see. Yeah.
Yeah. And just give me feedback and let me know what you think. And hopefully, if they don't get back to me on that, because I did specifically ask, I really want to get Paul's point of view. He's real good about that, on that. So if not, I'm going to be on a call with him tomorrow. So I'll ask him about that as well. I'll be on our coaching call. So,
awesome. Yeah. Either way,
sorry, what'd you say?
Either way, I'm very happy at the calorie range you have me at, because I'm in a good mental state right now to handle this cut. So I'm here and I'm energized to eat at this calorie deficit. So I want to stick with it, even if I'm hungry. I was just curious, if from the science standpoint, how it differs. Yeah, from keto.
For sure.
Cool.
Anything else that you guys have for this evening? Because that's the only two. You guys are the only two that sent me check-ins as well. So, that is really all I have. If you guys have anything before Friday, I can pop them into the Q&A. And then Hillary, once I talk to Paul tomorrow and some of the other coaches and get a little bit more feedback on that, I'll just shoot you what they say about it, because I think it's interesting too, because what your body does after being in ketosis for so long is interesting. And I'd like to hear Paul's perspective on it.
Yep. Cool. Thank you.
Okie dokie. Well, I won't keep you. I feel like that's really all I had. And again, so the call, and you guys can always catch it on the replay, but training call is Wednesday, 10 a.m. And Q&A will be on Friday, and that's generally 11 o'clock. So, and if you have any questions, I can pop them in there as well. But that is really all. Do you guys have any exciting plans for Labor Day weekend?
Just seeing lots of people. I finally feel good about seeing people too. I guess that's the second one, but I'm excited to see people and socialize and not freak out about, oh my gosh, what am I going to eat? But yeah, because
it's really nerve-wracking in the beginning. What's everybody going to think? What are you going to eat? Are you going to go in and self-sabotage? Yeah. And I don't know. I'm at a space where I bought my own cute little cooler, and I come with that, and I obviously I bring something to share, but I'm like, this is. And people ask, one or two people, are always like, oh, that's, but they're probably I'll be honest, they're probably really insecure with whatever's happening with them. It's, it's not a you thing, it's a they thing. Most people have questions and they think it's really cool. And I'm like, I got goals. I'm hitting them, and I'm gonna continue to hit them, but I'm gonna come and have fun and bring my own drinks and food.
Very cool.
So that'll be fun. Anything for you, Michelle?
I am going to Florida for my girlfriend, my bestie's 40th.
Who's turning 40?
Lauren, my friend Lauren, my roommate from Eastern.
Okay.
So it should be interesting because she's getting married, so she's engaged, and she's a lesbian. And everybody there is ex-girlfriends and ex-fiance. And I'm like, am I the only one that you haven't dated? This is weird. How do all you people stay friends? So
man, sounds like it's gonna be an interesting weekend.
It should be interesting. But they sent a note so for collecting what you want for groceries. So I was like, I need this and I need this. Yeah. So I've already got that planned, and I'm gonna pack my collagen for my coffee and my snack.
That stuff's so good. Those collagen peptides, amazing. I got those after last week's call. Thank you. It's a great recommendation.
Do you like the chocolate one? Did you try the chocolate?
Yes.
Anybody? Oh,
yes.
I don't know that I can go back. Like, my husband's like, you got to keep buying this stuff. And I'm like, you don't need collagen. I don't think he does, but he doesn't care. He's like, it tastes really good. So every time I go to Costco, I have to buy 2, which stinks because it's like not cheap. But the best place you can find it and the cheapest you can find it for the most amount is Costco. I will say that. Cool. We just have a concert we're going to for the kids. Like, it's like a hometown days. It's fun, and the kids' school sponsors it. So it's a bunch of Christian concert bands, which is always super fun. I love Christian music, so that's what we're doing. But Michelle, or either one of you, if you guys need any guidance around like planning for food or anything like that, I am always here to help. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and you guys reach out whenever. I'm here to help. So. Awesome. Super proud of both of you. Michelle, I will look at your sheet. Hillary, you're doing amazing, and I love your progress this week. And again, anything I can do to help, let me know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to talk to you, ladies.
Good to see you guys as always. Let me stop sharing. Not a new share. Stop share. There we go. I'm getting there with my technology. Oh, go away. Okay. I will see you all next week. And Michelle, I'll find your sheet and I will look at their calories and I'll message you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.